Surrounded by Idiots, a deep explanatory summary. Thomas Erikson. Surrounded by Idiots is often misunderstood as a personality book. It isn't. It is a book about why communication breaks down so easily between people who are not stupid, not malicious, and not trying to hurt each other, yet constantly fail to understand one another. Thomas Erikson starts from a simple but uncomfortable observation. Most people assume that others think, feel, and prioritize the world the same way they do. This assumption is false, and it is the source of most interpersonal conflict. What we call idiocy is usually not a lack of intelligence. It is a difference in behavioral focus. The book introduces 4 behavioral tendencies, symbolized by colors, not to label people, but to describe how humans behave under pressure, in decision-making, and in communication. These patterns are not identities. They are default modes that become visible especially when people are stressed, rushed, or emotionally activated. Some people are primarily driven by results. They focus on outcomes, speed, and efficiency. When communicating, they want clarity and movement. They are not trying to dominate others, but they become impatient when discussions feel slow or unfocused. When this behavior is misunderstood, they are seen as aggressive or arrogant, when in reality, they are reacting to what they perceive as wasted time. Others are driven by connection. They communicate through emotion, stories, and enthusiasm. They value recognition and human warmth. When they feel unheard or constrained, they may become scattered, exaggerated, or unfocused. This is often misread as immaturity or lack of seriousness, when it is actually a response to feeling invisible. Some people prioritize stability and harmony. They dislike conflict and sudden change. They prefer cooperation over confrontation and consistency over speed. Under pressure, they may withdraw, delay decisions, or avoid disagreement. This is often interpreted as weakness or passivity, but it is usually a strategy to preserve emotional safety and group cohesion. Others are driven by accuracy and structure. They value logic, precision, and correctness. They need time to analyze information before acting. When stressed, they may slow everything down, question details, or appear critical. This is often perceived as coldness or rigidity, but it is rooted in a deep fear of making mistakes and causing preventable errors. Erikson's central point is that none of these tendencies are superior. Problems arise not because one style is wrong, but because people communicate as if their own style were universal. When a results-driven person speaks quickly and directly to someone who values harmony, the message feels aggressive. When a detail-oriented person asks for more data from someone who values momentum, it feels obstructive. When a connection-driven person brings emotion into a task-focused environment, it feels irrelevant. Each person believes they are being reasonable. Each person feels misunderstood. The book explains that communication fails when people focus on expressing themselves rather than ensuring they are understood. True communication requires adjustment, not self-betrayal, but translation. Maturity in Erikson's framework is not knowing your own color. It is recognizing the other person's behavioral focus and adapting how you speak, listen, and respond accordingly. This does not mean changing who you are. It means choosing effectiveness over ego. A key warning in the book is against using these categories as excuses. Saying, "This is just how I am," freezes growth. The colors are tools, not identities. They exist to increase awareness, not to justify bad behavior. Ultimately, Surrounded by Idiots is not about simplifying people. It is about reducing unnecessary conflict by understanding that people react to the world through different filters. When those filters are ignored, frustration grows. When they are acknowledged, communication becomes clearer, calmer, and far more productive. The book teaches that most interpersonal tension is not personal, it is structural. And once you see the structure, many difficult people stop being difficult at all. They were never idiots. They were speaking a different language.